Hello Intuitors, it's Aria here and welcome to the Intuit Cafe. My plan in the weeks and the months ahead is to release a weekly reading by the sign of the zodiac, and in that reading I'll start out with a card spread that will give me like kind of a story, what the situation is, and then I'll be asking what are the blocks, what are the things that are preventing this situation from moving forward. Then at the end of that, you're going to have the opportunity to choose from 4 different action outcomes that might be the possible guidance for you at this time. And this is where I really am excited about giving you the opportunity to learn and hone your own intuition, to pick a reading that will either at that time help you know what's the best course of action to take or what's a course of action to avoid. Another way that you can use the readings at the end is if you're watching it and you're wondering what someone of that sun sign might end up doing at that time, then you can set the intention that whatever reading that you're guided to watch will be the most likely action or outcome that they take at this time, and it can kind of give you some insights on how things might progress in the future. So the way I view divination and utilizing your intuition to find or divine the kinds of information that are brought forth in readings like this is that basically once the reading is created, it's in the collective consciousness to an extent. And it has a specific frequency based on whatever it contains. So whatever frequency you yourself are tuned into at that time is like a certain trajectory. It's the direction that you're headed. And I really believe that as time goes on and you start learning how to tune into your own intuition, you truly will have the opportunity to attract the reading that has the most pertinent information for you at that time. And the same thing also works if you're watching this reading in regards to someone else. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, so this whole scenario really matches up to I know what's happening, but I don't have any control over what actions they take. And then you're asking your higher knowing to show you the reading that has the most likely match to where their frequency is at this time. And that's why you can end up getting a message that will be predictive of their next move. That rather than just saying, here's a general reading for everybody, it's saying, here's a starting point for everyone who's watching. If that starting point doesn't match up for you at this time, then maybe go watch a different sign of the zodiac, maybe your moon or your rising sign. But if it does resonate with you at this time, then you have the opportunity to pick the action or the outcome that are most in tune with where your trajectory is headed based on the frequency you're at. Now, without any further ado, let's get right into today's reading. All right, Aquarius, this is your situation that we're taking a look at right now, and I'm going to start here. We have the rider and the woman. In the center, we have the stork. Then we have the mouse and the man. And very interestingly, that we have the man and the woman come up here, very much indicating it's likely to be a love reading, but if nothing else, definitely a relationship type of reading, interaction. We do have the man coming up in the house of the dog, which means it's about a friend. So I think for some of you this may be just a friend, or it may be somebody who is a friend and a lover, or maybe in the transition stage. In fact, I kind of feel like the transition stage is pretty accurate for most of you who are watching, because we have the storks, and the storks are the card that talks about change. And always positive changes. Whenever we see the stork come up, it's changes in the sense that it's a good and positive change, unless we have really negative cards around it. It does show up in the house of the clouds, which does indicate that there is some confusion or uncertainty regarding this change. The change is coming up, or that the change is coming up in an area in which there has been uncertainty and confusion in the past, but that's changing. And so there is definitely more of a movement here toward more clarity and things coming up, like maybe in the past where you weren't sure what to make a change or how to change things, that now you are able to make that change happen in spite of that you were at some point, or the other person was at some point, kind of being unable to see their way clear through it. Now, the rider is a very positive portent to see here. It always is a positive card, unless I shouldn't say it's always a positive card. If there's negative cards around it, it could be. But it's generally, you know, about momentum and about things changing. It's definitely some kind of news, information, messenger coming in. And it does show up in the house of the cross. So the cross is having to do with things that are either burdensome and trials, or even something like having to do with difficulties. But it can also be about things that are destined and things that are spiritual. So I feel like for some people it might mean one, and some it might mean the other. But there does seem toward the woman, there is some kind of information, news, a breakthrough, and also just this momentum for movement. And it's also encouraging to see that she's in the house of the key. If you're watching this and this woman is you, then it's an assurance that you really do have in your possession the ability to accomplish, break through, and achieve whatever it is that you're setting out to do. Whatever the focus of your intentions are with this situation, with this man, wherever there was uncertainty, you now have the ability to break through, to make a change. And so there's a lot of very positive, you know, something very positive there, in spite of the fact that over here we see kind of like this opposing energy with him that seems like maybe he's more reticent, because we have, you know, man, woman, and then we have rider, mouse, and the mouse couldn't be more opposite. It's like the mouse is talking about things that are being taken away, wherever you have loss, anxiety, whatever is being like even stolen, destroyed, nibbled away at, and just detracted from, like taking away. So the man is experiencing something in his life right now where his luck is even, like he's feeling like down on his luck, or unable to, because the mice shows up in the house of luck, so that his luck is being taken away and things are eaten away. So it's kind of like there's a quite an opposite thing here. But if you are the man in the character of the story, then you look to her because she has the key. So whatever it is that you're not having, and you're having like taken away, and you're not having good results, like you're being held back or whatever, then this woman is the key for you. And she is a friend. I mean, the two of you are friends, because you show up with the in the house of the dog, which is the friend. Or if this is you're the woman, then understand that this person, who may be your love interest or your friend, is experiencing some difficulties right now, and then you have the key, and it is kind of a destined thing. Maybe you're the one that has the message, maybe coming to her, or maybe she is the messenger for the situation for him. But overall, we definitely have change. And so we have something here where there has been uncertainty, and I can especially see that, you know, things have been very uncertain for him. Things aren't going really well for him right now, but she has the key, she is the key, and she has it in her ability, and she has all the momentum to bring in that change. Now again, if this is a same-sex couple, understand that, at least in my viewpoint, anybody who's you know, really in a romantic situation with someone, we typically are attracted to someone because they may hold the larger proportion of feminine energy, and then someone else holds the masculine energy. So, you know, read into that whichever way you are. But for some kind of idea of actions and outcomes that you might expect out of the situation, go ahead and make your selection from the videos presented at the end of this reading. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you around.